Alright, so I'm going to try something a little different today. I've got my GoPro out here instead of my phone because it can record for a lot longer in a straight stretch. I'm going to actually try to take this in one take and do as little editing as possible. So this might be a little bit longer video, but yeah, that's what we're up for. I have no idea how this thing comes apart, so I guess I'll be learning as I go. This is the actually the fuel pump off of my Land Rover. It's a 1961 Series 2, 2.25 liter petrol or gasoline, depending on where you're from. It's got the I don't know what that's called, like a foot or a follower that goes on the camshaft. The camshaft push out is on it there, and as she pumps, it pumps the fuel. Now it's been working great. However, I went to go change the oil. Might even in frame here. I went to go change the oil and there was gasoline in it, like it reeked of it. So I'm suspecting it's a fuel pump because my carburetor's been working well, but hey, I thought my fuel pump was working well anyways. Either way, I've got a rebuild kit here for that, so let's get cracking at it. This is the bail on the, this is a sediment bowl, and the bail it's just got a little thumb screw on the bottom, and that, you can lift that up and out of the way. I think I'll wash that out later. And then the bail actually just pops right off, so that's easy enough. It's got a rubber O-ring to seal that, and then it's got a wire gauze pad here. Very carefully work that off. That's kind of just to filter out the sediment and whatnot. Alright, from here, I just see screws. Never actually done this before. I didn't even look up and see if anyone has done this. Might be the first. Actually, let's get a little parts tray. Hold on a minute. Alright, so I'm back with a parts tray. Get very good wiping out. It's a little rusty, but yeah, it should be good. As it turns out, this cart is actually ferritic stainless, so everything sticks, all the magnets stick to it real good. So that's a handy thing to have. Those won't go in the parts tray. Alright, that one moves. That moves. I like to go around and make sure all the screws move before I actually go ahead and take anything apart. Because, you know, it's always going to be that last screw that bones you. Alright, we're all good. A lot of these alloy parts, I don't know if they're cast magnesium, aluminum, zinc maybe. But a lot of these cast parts, the screws work out real nice. Just gotta be careful putting them back in that you don't strip anything out. I'm gonna orientate this because I don't know if any of these screws are different lengths. Actually, they all come out the bottom, so I think we'll be good. Just take them out as they come. Might edit this out just for length. I've kind of been watching a lot of YouTuber Big Clive, and that's kind of where I got the idea for doing this way. You know, I'm also a big fan of short videos. However, I've filmed a bunch. I love filming it. However, the editing process is just like, I really don't get into it that often. So I've got tons of footage already filmed, but none of it edited, so hopefully by doing it this way I can just make that a little less painful, maybe a little more painless for me. Maybe you can actually start producing videos on a regular basis. Alright, there's all the screws off. I don't know if there's valves or... it doesn't look like any valves or anything hiding down in there, so those might just be threaded in. Is there something I'm missing? Doesn't look quite like it, so that's like stapled together right there. Alright, and if I'm holding it like that with the inlet like it's on the engine, that's up there. Just making a note of that for myself. Maybe I need to use a knife to split that. This is where 3 hands would be nice to have. Looks like the diaphragm material is in 2 layers. There we go. Yeah, diaphragm separated. Alright, so that's where the valves go. That says genuine up there. Genuine AC. Yes, that was a actual legitimate rebuild kit. Alright, so how the heck does the rest of this come apart? I should have brought out a chair. I want to make sure I get this put back on the right way. You can see which holes are threaded and which ones are not. So this is, being AC, this would be a part like a, as AVE calls it, a jelly bean part that basically any car manufacturer could just throw on and make work. Like the Solix carburetors, I believe it went on like that. Yeah. No, it was the other way around. That was it. There we go. Into the engine, off to the right. In from the right, or in from the left. Good Lord, I'm all backwards today. In from the left and engine in front of me. Alright, so how does this work? Let's take a look at our kit. See what we've got in here. Alright, so there's our new diaphragm. Actually, that appears to be a solid piece. Yeah. It's got clips on it, so maybe something has to come out from over here. Ew. Probably should have actually looked at the I've got the shop manual. There we go. That worked. Rotate it 90 degrees and pull out. Will it go back in? Maybe it's just sat in there. I don't think I got that. Is that a rubber doobie? Feels like rubber. I don't think I've got that. And the diaphragm looks good. It's a little hard, but I don't know. Could be coming, the gas in my oil could be coming from the carburetor. I don't know. Guess that must be an oil seal then. Because it pumps when it goes down. Oh yeah, I can see. Can you see it moving down in there? Dampen that again. I guess not. Well, I don't have that part, so I guess I can't replace it, you know? Didn't come in the overhaul kit. Does smell awfully like gasoline in there. So perhaps this was where all the gas in my oil was coming from. So I don't know what all the gaskets are for. I don't see anywhere for them in here. It's a bit powdery in there. Guess these just pop out, I guess. Unless there's something I'm missing. I don't know. Looks like I got... I wonder if this is like a global rebuild kit for all sorts of different and similar applications. I don't know. Because that appears to be the one that I need. Right there, yeah. That's that gasket. Now I don't know what all these are for. They don't appear to be used anywhere. So that's a solid casting, and I'm not even going to even think about trying to take that off. Yeah, maybe I'll just clean her up with some brake clean before I assemble it, but then again it's got that rubber seal in there. I don't know. Don't know. Guess these will just pop right out? No, they don't want to. These are the replacements. Yeah, they look pretty close. Jeez, that's in there good. There we go. Or did I even move it? There we go. No idea on how to get out that center one. I don't know what that big tower is for either. Guess you just gotta pull them out. I don't like it when you have to destroy stuff to take stuff apart. But I can't see any other way to do this, you know? In, out, okay. I'm going to pause the video while I try to figure this out, just so I'm not taking up more time. Okay, so I did get it out finally, but I did have to resort to gratuitous violence. She's kind of in a couple pieces here. What I ended up pulling it out was I used a this piece of kind of threaded end, got it in there, and she actually came right out. And I was beating on it and levering on it with screwdrivers, which got me nowhere but chattering that rim. So I hope I don't have a bad seal out there. I don't expect to. This feels like pretty decent stuff. Probably silicone. So anyways, that's that's that part out. While I just clean up in here, get some of the old seals out. There we go. It looks like those two seals get cut apart. There, that came right out. And to push them in, I'm going to use the small screwdriver to just tap the rims in to get them seated. Just kind of want to clean out in there a bit. A lot of like just dusty old sediment from dried fuel. Oh, just a note, if you're ever going to blow out dusty old blind holes, always make sure you close your eyes. It's always a good idea. Yeah, you can see clear through. I don't know why that reservoir is so tall, but it just kind of, that's a blind hole where they would thread it, just like this one. They'd pierce it through, and yeah, both of them are probably blank in the casting. Yeah, you can see there where they drilled it out, and that way you can get, if your fuel pump is aligned, actually. This thing is made quite cleverly. It's very flexible. You've got twice as many holes in the bottom casting as in the top, so you can rotate any, well, you probably wouldn't want to have it that way or this way, or even that way, but you can rotate it pretty much any of the other ways. And if you've got the casting coming out here, that just makes it a lot really flexible in the applications. This single out of two castings, all the applications you could use this in. So I don't know. I'm just going to kind of clean this up with a rag and get it nice and really clean. Because I think that's an oil seal, so I don't think I'll use any brake clean on unless I deteriorate the oil seal even more and make gummy messes. There's the spring for the return spring for the diaphragm. Return spring in. I think the diaphragm was up there, the tab. Actually, if the tab is an indicator of where the teeth are, the tab should go in like that and rotate there. Does that look? Yeah. Okay. So diaphragm goes in, and then I rotate it to there. That feels like it's being held in place. Yep. Alright, so that's in place. I don't have scissors on me. I think I'll go get some scissors and trim that up real nice. Alright, so off camera I kind of hosed it down with both some gum out and some brake clean, just to try and get some of the gack out of there and clean up the seats for the seals on the valves. So while that's drying out, I'm going to trim up these. Cut it right down the middle. Alright, I'll call that good enough. Drop in the new seals. This one's going out. So, ooh, there's still some. It'd be a lot easier if I had the air compressor running, but I don't feel like dragging that out. Dropping a seal. That sits in there good. That's going out, so the bottom side goes up. That seat's in there pretty good. Tight. Well, that's not in there all the way, but I might as well get them both situated. This comes in, so bottom side goes down. That one goes in there a lot deeper the first time. Alright, now for the gentle tappity tap. Alright, I got that all in. It looks like this kit covers like several different variations, because I mean there's two different rings that, well, unless that goes in there, I don't know. I don't think that does. It seems to fit nicely. There wasn't one in there to begin with, so I am going to assume that it does not go in there. I just noticed there's a big chunk missing out of there. Shouldn't affect the workings of it, but interesting. Alright, so this would be the rubber for in here, but I'm going to clean off the gauze. I haven't done that yet. Some brake cleaning followed by carb cleaner. Should do that right up good. And then we should be done. So this will go on here as such. Oh, okay. That must not have gone on the right way, because let's see. Let's try it like this, because the holes didn't line up with the ones that were tapped. Alright, so that feels, yeah, there we go. There's like a notch in there that's holding that in place, so holes must be off by just a snit. Yeah, I can't just rotate that. You have to press it down to get it to work. Guess that tab is to help line up all the holes when you're putting everything together. Alright, and then all the other holes are lining up, so let's get her done. It's always good practice to tighten things down in a star pattern, even with something like this, where it might not really matter that much, because the clamping force isn't all that great. We got a nice big thick sealing item. Not in this case, not a gasket, but the diaphragm. Oh, I guess it's working as a gasket around the outside. But anyways, it's a nice thick gasket. Can tolerate a lot of inaccuracies. But it's always good practice to spin things down until it's snug. Until it's snug. And so on. Alright, then I like to go back and get it about, estimate about how tight you're going. Make sure everything's about the same amount of tight. and go back around and make sure she's pretty much good. It's always good practice to do it in a star pattern. It can't hurt. It can only help or do nothing. Interesting. So that must be how it regulates the fuel pressure. Basically, if the pressure's too much on the outside, it doesn't pump. That's interesting. Alright, so I'm going to pause the camera, clean off the gauze, clean out the fuel bowl, and I'll throw it back together and we'll be done. Alright, so fuel bowl's nice and clean, and so is the gauze. I don't know. I sprayed her so that it would knock anything out that, because it goes in like that, and the fresh gas from the tank comes in here and then goes up through the gauze and out. I don't know, the fresh gas comes in and goes up through that hole, and this gets pushed down, so I sprayed it from the back so it would blast any stuff that was stuck on the bottom side of the screen out. Just kind of tuck it back on there. Gonna wipe down the this rubber washer. That sits in there like so. I didn't have any fuel leakage problems out of here, but that'll definitely, that new rubber definitely will help prevent any in the future. Slide the bail back on, get it in its little hoops. That little cup is separate from the thumb wheel, so sometimes it falls down when everything's upside down. It makes it a bit of a pain. It's all good. Alright. Except for maybe cleaning up the outside of it, she's done. So, pulls a vacuum and holds pressure. Yeah, definitely holds pressure. So that's a bit bent. I'm gonna spray some brake clean around there, get some of that grease out of it. But she's pretty much done. Alright, got the fresh gasket. That'll go on as such onto the engine. She should be good. It's always fun fixing stuff.